Morning, peeps. I've got to talk to you lot today. It's been a while since I've done a video, and my team's turned to custard. I've got a massive hangover. I've got a bad case of anxiety this morning. I've got that feeling of doom in my stomach, and as it turns out, it's quite right that it's there because my team is an absolute disaster. Even my fan teams have let me down this week. I was doing really, really well in them, but not so much now, although still doing all right. But I've got to talk to you today about the perils of alcohol and the perils of FPL, because they're both a shit show. And like I said, it's all turned to custard. So what did I do? I went out the other night. I got invited out, a night out on the town, dancing, all that sort of malarkey. And as usual, we ended up down the casino with me knocking back rum and cokes and that. It happens every night, every time. 2 a.m. comes round and we go home. But the thing is, I'm meeting my South African mate 7 o'clock Sunday morning to go and watch the England South Africa rugby match. So I get home at about 1:30 in the morning. Now I'm going out again in another 3 hours. No point sleeping. So when I start on the Jim Beam, then I got a quarter of a bottle of Jim Beam. Mate picks me up at 7, and we're down to watch the rugby. Now everyone else is having breakfast. There's me, IPAs, one after the other, and a pack of salt and vinegar crisps. The woman behind the bar, she says to me, "That's the breakfast of champions." And at the time, it seemed that way. England were winning. It was all looking good. I was as merry as of whatever, and everything looked good. But then South Africa beat us by 1 point. I realise it's midday and I'm completely fucked, and off I go home. And now, a day later, I'm completely done in pips. I've got a bad case of anxiety. I was my usual misbehaviour when I'm out drinking, and now I'm suffering. And I got up. My team's suffering. I'm suffering. Cat's suffering. The cat's got blooming lymphoma now. It turns out. So this is going to be her last season playing FPL. I might have a look at the cat's team later because she's doing a lot better than I am. She even look. I'll tell you what, peeps. She might have lymphoma and been told she's on her last legs, but she still looks in better shape than me. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. When we take her down the vets in a couple of weeks' time for that final goodbye, I'm not sure which one of us is actually going to be saying goodbye. Maybe they're going to put me down because the way I'm feeling at the moment, it would be a blessing, peeps, a blessing. Anyway, we're going to try and work out what we're doing with this team because it's lacking a few essential ingredients. One of them is Watkins, who I very nearly put in at the start of the season, but instead went for that prick Jackson, and that all went wrong, didn't it? But we've got to look at Salah as well. We've got easy fixtures coming up. Watkins has got Luton next week, and I've got neither of them. Got 2 free transfers, and we're going to have to sort out what the hell to do because most of you have probably got a wild card. I don't. Haaland, he's getting a few points, isn't he? But he's not crushing it. He's not. He's not keeping up with Salah even. I think Salah's now ahead of him, pretty much. And as we'll see, so we're going to have a look at some of our usual mates' teams in a minute. And we'll go and find out what's what, peeps, because it's all turning wrong. We'll go and have a look. Okay, so I'm as new to this as you are because I've only just looked at my team really and this new game week and trying to work out what to do. And like I said, I've got anxiety, and whether I'm going to do it now, I don't know. Going to be tricky, isn't it? So let's have a look. Cash is all right. Trippier's all right. Udogi's all right. Ariola's all right. Leno's all right. So my keepers, not going to worry about them. Son, Sterling, Fernandez, Foden, Madison. Well, prick Fernandez. Okay, he got a few points, didn't he? Foden's got to go. That's the first. My first thought, Foden's got to go. And my second thought is, which I've been thinking for a while, is I want to switch to a 3-4-3. I want Watkins. They're just too good. They got good fixtures. I think. Well, let's have a look actually. Maybe they haven't. Let's have a look at the fixtures first. Somehow. Hang on, peeps. I know you'd rather talk about having me put down, wouldn't you, than my team. But we're going to have a quick look at the fixtures. And What am I doing? I've gone, peeps, I've gone. Right. So let's have a look. Villa, Luton, Forest, Fulham. Well, that's it, isn't it? He's got to come in. Watkins has got to come in. I'm not that impressed with that other little prick, Diaby. I'm not worried about him. But Watkins has to come in. No question in my mind. Now, Liverpool, Forest, Luton, Brentford, then Man City away. My team's completely stuffed. I'm at a 3 million mark. I'm now starting to think that if I want to, I've got to forget about Salah. And there's no point just copying everybody else. I've either got to get rid of Haaland or not bother with Salah because I've got to kind of try and do something a bit different. But look at Liverpool's fixtures. So Salah may have to come in. City have got there's where Chelsea. See, Chelsea are bloody good now. Then they've got Liverpool and Tottenham. I mean, okay, so let's look at that. Tottenham, okay, I guess. We're not going to worry about them. We're not priority at the moment. West Ham are really good. So, I mean, the people I'm looking at getting in are Bowen. I've been saying this for a while. I want Bowen. I want Watkins. And I probably want Salah, don't I? So let's take Foden out. Gosh, it's tempting, you know. It's tempting just to get rid of Haaland and replace him with Watkins. He's even outscoring the prick. Look, he's 7 points ahead of Haaland already. Even Alvarez is only 6 points behind Haaland. And Haaland's been scoring goals. So if I've got two free transfers, I could just do Foden and get Salah. And suddenly, I've got no real worries, have I? I've got Aston Villa defence covered. I've got, I mean, the attack covered. And I've got Salah covered. The only one I haven't got is Haaland. But I have got Alvarez, who's almost doing just as well. You know what? I'm at 3 million. That is the simple, straightforward solution where I can keep Trippier, I can keep everybody, and I've got 3 million in the bank all of a sudden, which is ridiculous, isn't it? And I can change. Who have West Ham got this way? Home to Everton. I can either just stick with those two free transfers, or get rid of Sterling or Fernandez maybe for a -4. Probably Fernandez have got City. So that looks all right, doesn't it? That looks one way of doing things. So we'll get rid of Watkins and get rid of Salah. Now the other thing I can do, if I've got good team value, that's one thing I have got. I can get rid of Foden, replace him with that Chelsea player. What's his name? Palmer. Replace him with Palmer. Take out Fernandez and replace him with Salah. That leaves me 0.6 in the bank. So Salah and Palmer in, which means I'm going to have to play Archer or Palmer or a fourth defender every week. I think that's doable. But what this doesn't do, it doesn't really leave any space for Watkins. So I can have Salah and Palmer and no Watkins. And I'm not sure I really like that, you know. I think I prefer having Salah and Watkins and just forgetting about Haaland at this stage. But I just don't know how I'm going to spend that Haaland money. I mean, how do I spend it? I'm going to have 2 point odd million in the bank. Jesus, what's going on here, peeps? Everybody, all players, you want? So yeah, so this is what happens when you get a hangover. Your brain goes, you're not thinking very clearly, and everything slows up. Very bad, very bad. I should stop drinking. I mean, how old am I, peeps? I need to go out. I mean, out dancing. Well, I didn't actually do any dancing, but I'm out in these clubs and that, and most of the people there are in their 20s, and I'm like blooming 60. You know, I mean, what's going on? These could be my grandkids. But I tell you what, peeps, they're flaking out by half one. I'm just warming up. So I'm the one who runs marathons. They're the ones who can't run up the stairs. So think on, peeps, think on. Fine, upstanding figure, but one with a lot of anxiety this morning. I've got a lot of explaining to do, peeps. A lot of explaining. Right. So let's see. So Watkins and Salah. 2.9 in the bank. So how would I go forward from there in future? How would I go forward? Because I won't want Sun forever. Is there anywhere to spend the money? Or am I just going to be always going to have millions in the bank if I go down this route, aren't I? And which is means that all my saving up money has been pretty pointless. So I've already got Trippier. I mean, I could replace Anderson with Trent or someone like that, couldn't I? I could get Trent Alexander-Arnold in, but I mean, is he really worth the effort? Oh, look at that. That's why you need money sometimes, don't you? Like if Trent ever takes off, I can't actually get him. But how else can I spend that money? That's difficult. Well, I suppose Sterling to Saka, perhaps, be a possibility, wouldn't it? Sterling to Saka at some point. And Martinelli, maybe. Leaves me 1.4 in the bank still. I don't know. It's very difficult, isn't it? This is why you need a wild card, isn't it? This is why I mean, I know I got all these really good players in on my wild card, like Cash, Anderson, Trippier, Udogi, all went up in a lot of money. We all went up a lot, but it did mean I had to use my wild card then. Don't know, peeps. I don't know. I'll tell you what we'll do now. We'll have a quick look at how everyone else is doing to see if they've got more points than you this week. We'll have a look at our old league, shall we? What we always look at the real community. Remember, most of us have still got 3 players to go, haven't we? 3 Tottenham players. But here's me, 49, look, lowest score in the week. By some margin, actually. By some margin, my score is the lowest in the league this week. That's bad, isn't it? Who's top? Look at these. Jesus Christ. Look who's top again. Look, Wag. 72 points already. Everyone keeps telling her team's going to turn to custard because she hasn't had any Man City players since the start. So that's a 90k already. Still got 3 Tottenham players left to go. Got Bowen, Watkins, and of course Captain Salah. This is what happens, see? This is how I'll say this every week, don't I? We always end up looking at this woman's team. She's even got Trent. I couldn't even get Trent in mine one just now when I look, could I? It's on 72 points already. It's just ridiculous. It's just being brave and not having any Man City players. I mean, she hasn't even had Alvarez, who's done pretty well. For the money, I mean, Alvarez has been great, hasn't he? But he still hasn't equalled Watkins. Craziness, peeps. Absolute craziness. What are we going to do about it? I mean, if I do what I said I was going to do, and take out Haaland, see, my team still wouldn't look as good as hers, even if I took out Haaland and got Salah in. Unless you think Alvarez is going to keep up with Watkins. So I'm going to have a real think, see what to do. Let's have a look at price changes for a sec. because Watkins, oh Jesus Christ, you don't get time to think, do you? Watkins, Bowen, Salah, all about to go up in price. I need to make my mind up. I need to make it up quick because I'm back out lunchtime, peeps. I might have an anxiety and a hangover, but we all know the best cure for a hangover, don't we? And I'm off out again at midday. Reacquaint myself with some IPA, I think. Got unfinished business, peeps. There's only one way to get rid of this anxiety and get rid of the hangover. So that's don't take that as bona fide or medical advice, peeps. And if you've got a problem with alcohol, don't drink it, basically. But don't nag me because I'm not encouraging you to drink it. It's bloody terrible. And it's a ruination, peeps, a ruination. And it's why the cat, despite having lymphoma, is probably going to last longer than me this week. The team's certainly better. Anyway, so Bowen, Salah, and they're all going up. And Palmer's going to go up soon. So who do I need to get rid of? Let's have a look. What's Sterling doing? He's dropping like a stone. Dropping like a stone, peeps. So maybe he should be one I look at getting rid of. Foden. Could go down today. I've got to act. Jesus, I'm running out of time here. Running out of time to sort myself out. So Foden's going to have to go. I don't even know what I'm doing to bring people in, do I? What about Fernandez? Still falling, even though he got 7 points. It's tricky. Tricky dicky. The only other thing we could look at, maybe, is getting rid of Archer. Take Archer out and change to a 4-3-4-3. So get rid of Archer for Watkins. That's a nice transfer, isn't it? Right. So now we're playing 3-4-3 because a lot of these midfielders are starting to get on my goat. We got I mean Sterling's all right. They wouldn't give him a penalty yesterday though. He is shit at them. So we'll take him out and we'll take Foden out. And so we're going to have our 4.5 midfielder, aren't we? Which seems a bit of a waste. So maybe I could get Palmer in. Spend a bit more on my defender. Because I won't want to start him every game, but I'll have the option. Okay, so I get Palmer and Watkins in this week. I'm probably bench Palmer, but Watkins will start. Does leave me without Salah this week. And they have got a good fixture. And can I even get Salah though? Can I get him at all if I stick with this 3-4-3? I'd have to take Son out probably, wouldn't I? And I'm still 2 million short. Jesus, that's not easy. That's not easy. I think we're going to have to forget about that option. Keep Archer. And it looks like, peeps, I'm going to have to take out Foden. I'll tell you what. I'm going to take out Haaland and Foden, I think. What's Haaland's price doing? Oh, anyway, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't guarantee it, but I don't need to do them all at once. Yes, I do. I do, because I've got to I've got to replace Foden. If I'm getting Salah, I have to replace Foden with Salah. So I need to do 2 transfers tonight. No other choice. Anyway, peeps, I've had enough. I don't know what I'm doing. Literally. I'm all at sea. Not literally. But completely fat regardless. So that's about it. I'm going to come back to you in a day or two. Right, once I've sorted my head out, and we'll have a proper look at this week because it's very tricky, isn't it? Very tricky. So my team's looking good for this week, though. Really, if you assume that Foden is Salah, because I'm probably going to want to captain Salah, aren't I? Captain Salah or Watkins, and Haaland's not going to be there. Away at Man United. I mean, he'll probably score when but he's been scoring anyway. But the trouble is, Salah, Watkins, they're all scoring. So why have someone at 14 million who's scoring when you could have someone at 8 million? Anyway, peeps, I'm off now. I've had enough. I've got to go and put this on YouTube, and then I've got to get ready to go back out again. It's all go, 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 isn't it? So, as for England and the rugby, what a disaster. What a disaster. Anyway, peeps, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Okay, so cheers for now.